هديك لنا عبسانا وديعنا تمننا نيل ودك بتعب سلني فرعنا جزء استمسوت الله عدنا وعلنا كل كوس نزياتي في من يستعر سؤال العالم بسلام قدوس جبريل ملاك أور زيتي مريم سلام لك جبريل ولنات ولنجل وسكاكي أما እግዚአብሔር ጸባዖት ሰላም ለኪ ብሩክት አንቲ ማለት በብሩክ ለተስኪ ተፈሲ ፍሲት ኦ ምልክት ጸጋ እግዚአብሔር ለኪ ናለው ጸልይ ምሕረት አበፍቅሮልክ ኢየሱስ ክርስቶስ ከመስያታነ አሜን። የተቀደሰ ጉባኤ ይሁንልን።
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, yes. I think we can start our session. I see like 10, 12 people in already. Probably the participant are, the main goal of our intention is to give experience for the new graduates of 2020. So probably they are in already. So I would like to ask our presenters to introduce themselves, and I can start from Hannah, please.
My name is Hannah. I am now a senior in college. I go to DePaul University. I don't know what else we should introduce ourselves with. That's what I have for now.
Thank you, Hannah. We know the rest, okay? All right, so we go to Thomas.
Hey, everyone. I'm Thomas. I was in your position, it's crazy, 7 years ago. I graduated high school 7 years ago in 2013. I went to the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. I graduated in 2017 with a degree in finance, and it's crazy. It's already been 3 years after I graduated, so time goes by fast. College is a great time. You get to learn to be the adult you wanted to be. It's a lot of maturing, and yeah, Hannah and I were here to help.
All right. Thank you very much, Thomas. It's good to have you here, and to make a good case and discussion with our graduates, and that's a vast experience you two guys have already, so we're waiting for that. So Frey is there. Freganet?
Yes. My name is Freganet, Frey in short. I graduated from Illinois State University in year 2000, before everybody is born. In this class of 2020. So I am presenting as a parent today. So that's it.
Great. Thank you, Frey. So I would expect to hear from you a lot about how parenting and college looks like. So is Mahari there already? Okay. Maybe he's not here, but everybody knows Mahari. I don't want to introduce him. He's, our beloved church member, and he's, doing everything in every aspect in our church, and he's an active participant. And I think all the kids knows about him, and I don't want to introduce him. It would have been good if he was here. Okay. All right. So I think we can start the presentation, and I will give Hannah first a chance to discuss about it and share her experience. I will give her like 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I just made a quick presentation. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. I'll just share my screen. If you guys have any questions, just like write it down, or you can even stop me and ask. So, like I said, I went to DePaul University. I currently have a major in graphic design and a minor in animation and psychology. And my presentation just says 10 things I wish I knew before college. So my intro is that college is nothing like high school. I think that's the first thing I remember feeling. It's just a completely different experience. There's no hallways or just like a confinement of a space. It's not as structured as high school is. You get to make your own schedules. It just feels like a completely different thing. So it's hard to come in with that experience and thinking that it's going to be like that, because it's not. So you have to, in a way, throw that out the window and just have a different mindset going into it. And then the second thing I put is that there is no popular group or anything like that. It's just people doing their own thing, being themselves, and you just find the group of people that you're comfortable with and you feel yourself with. But there's just too many people for things like that to occur, especially depending on your school. I think my school, although it's in the city, is smaller because it's a private school, and then there are larger schools that have a lot more students. And then the next thing I said is that you're doing this for you now. I felt like when I was in high school, I was always trying to impress some college that I hadn't even applied to yet, and I was taking these AP classes whether I liked it or not, on world history, this and that, and it's not like that anymore. It's for you. You're getting the grades for yourself. You're earning a degree towards something that you want to earn. So you're not really doing this for anyone but yourself. And then another point I made is, are you happy? I think this is something really significant, especially for me, that I went through, because I'll talk about this later, but I went in as a CS major, as a computer science major, and I was completely miserable, and I really had to reevaluate everything and what that was going to look like. Should I charge through this miserable 4 years, and then what? Am I going to be stuck in that? And I had to do a lot of thinking. So definitely please do what makes you happy. And I am the type of person that really does not want to disappoint my parents, but at the end of the day, it's not for them, it's for you, and they want your happiness as well, even if maybe they're not expressing it in the way that we're used to. So definitely do what makes you happy and find that. And that might not be something that you'll find right away, but you'll eventually find it. And alongside with finding that something that makes you happy, it should also be marketable. And I think that's something that Beanie had mentioned last week, if you were there, but it would be, a good mindset to have, like, what is needed in the world right now, what makes me happy, what can I be good at, but also what can I be successful in and find a job in when I graduate, because after, again, the 4 years of hard labor, you have nowhere to go. It would just be really unfortunate. And then last thing I added was teachers are called professors now, and I think for a bit, like the first quarter, the first semester, you're probably going to be calling your professors teachers because it's just force of habit, but they're called professors. And I feel like they're just different. I mean, they're human, they're all human, but it's not so much of like authority as I felt in high school. Maybe that's just a personal thing, but you can go out to dinner with your professor, which is like at least I thought was mind-blowing when I first went to high school. But you make these relationships and connections with your professors in like a professional way, because you have to network and stuff, and they go by their first names most of the time, and it's not really this serious thing that you only see your professor, your teacher in that classroom. You see them outside and other things as well. So the first thing I said is make goals and have limits. I think you should be, when going into college, you shouldn't just be like, whatever happens, happens. You definitely need to have a goal. And for me, I wrote those goals down for myself. I wanted to, what degree did I want to get coming out of this? If I don't know, that's okay. That's also a standing point, because you have to go in as undeclared, and that's something you should know. And then saying things that I wanted to graduate with. I think I really wanted to graduate with honors. That's something that was appealing to me, especially after I read a lot about the program, small class sections and one-on-one time with professors. Those things were appealing to me. So that's something I applied for and make sure I got in ahead of time before I even went into college. If you want to make X amount of money before you graduate, I don't know if that's something that you're concerned with, but knowing how you're going to achieve that, and then how long it'll take you to graduate. It's really easy to just print out all the classes you need to take, even before you start college, and planning it out with your advisor, seeing exactly how long it'll take you. And before I added on my minors, I was predicted to graduate in 3 years, which I could have done if I had wanted to, but that's something good to know, instead of taking it year by year and then finding out your third year you don't actually even need a fourth year, or that you could have done something along the way. And then where I wanted to live. For me, this is specific to DePaul, I feel like, because DePaul has 2 campuses, one in like a suburban kind of feeling kind of place, and then one in the heart of the city, right across from like the Bean and the Buckingham Fountain. And so I had to choose where I wanted to live. I knew that I wanted to live in the city the first year, and then perhaps the more suburb feel like the second year. And then I wanted to experience also having an apartment, so that's what I'm doing right now. So just knowing what kind of things you want to experience. Do you want to study abroad? Is that something you're interested in? How can you achieve those things? So there's just a lot of things that you should think about before just jumping in and seeing how things go. And then know your limits. I wrote, sorry, the thing is covering it, but how much money you're spending, your efforts and time. I'm the type of person that says yes to everything. So I feel like I'll do a lot of clubs or a lot of commitments, and then I run out of time and I stress myself out. So knowing what things to say yes to, so that you're allocating your efforts and time effectively. And then roommate agreements are such a big deal. If you have a roommate, and God willing, I hope you do, after all of this is over, you need to know exactly what it is you don't like, because I was an RA, I was someone that worked with residents, and I heard so many horror stories of people using their deodorant or their perfume or all these things that you would never think people would use. And that's because they didn't draw boundaries and limits for themselves to begin with. And for me, when I had a roommate, the first thing I did was like, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Here are the things I really need to happen, and here are the things I really hope not to happen. And then we made a list, combined it, and then physically signed it, so it felt so official that you had these things, and that you're respecting each other's boundaries. And I wanted her to be okay with me listening to, let's say, Mesmore. I know that's not something she might be accustomed to, and if that's okay with her for me to play it out loud, and all these other things, and just giving her heads up as to how late I stay up. And there's just a lot you can say about that, but just know your limits, because you're free. It feels like you're free and you can do anything in the world, but you definitely need to have limits. Otherwise, you're just going to run into bad habits of either spending too much or being out too much and all these other things. The next thing is, I'm sure everyone will tell you that goes to college, is make friends. And how you gain friendship is weirdly their repetition exposure. It's how many times you see that person over and over, and through clubs and stuff, you see that person or that group of people over and over, and you get to know them better every time, and that's how natural relationships start forming. You kind of have to force yourself to join clubs, to go to events, because I know my first year I felt like I wasted it, because it's scary at first, and you're not doing much, and you don't know what clubs to go to, and you don't know who to go to with, because you don't want to go by yourself, but you just should. And then you'll meet someone else that's there by themselves, and then you become friends. And sometimes it's not that easy, but at least like that's one way of making friends. Then I said go on trips. I think finally my sophomore year, I pushed myself to go on a small trip to Georgia for a service immersion. It's to help those in need, and it was such an amazing time. And it was just a close knit of people. You had to drive with them for so many hours, and then you had to live with them. You get to see these like nuances about that human, and it's not just that surface level high five kind of relationship. So I really enjoyed that trip, and I was supposed to go on a international trip this year, but obviously that got canceled. So these things are very, I feel like, important to gaining friends. And I put a picture of EOCS in the corner, because sometimes you got to reach out to old friends. He lives in the city, so sometimes I reached out to old friends when I was feeling homesick, or I just needed a little bit more comfort than hanging out with other people that I maybe didn't know. My next thing that I wanted to say is use your resources. There are so many resources that DePaul had that I'm just now learning about, and it took me so long, and I'm so upset about it, but at least I know now. For example, there is a picture in the corner. It's called IRL. It's where they have free printing, free t-shirt making, free woodworking, just anything you can imagine, sewing machines, just a whole array of free things that you would never expect to be free. But these colleges get paid so much money, I feel like don't know what to do with it, so just use that. And I always felt like I don't want to waste their money, but it's a corporation, it's a business, use their stuff, don't feel bad. They always give out free food at like activities, or just they have pantries for students depending on the school. Free clothing all the time with t-shirts, and there's free health services like what is it called? Psychiatrists. And they use your school's Facebook group. I just recently joined something called Black DePaul, which is so cool because they have like braiding hair services for Black students and all these things that I would have never gotten exposure to had I not joined the group. And it's just specifically for Black students, and it's run by students itself. So it's a really lax group, and I learn a lot about movements and stuff that are happening right now too. So just join a lot of group chats. And then there's free tutoring, which really helped me in my first quarters of DePaul, adjusting to the learning style of college, because again, it's a little different than high school. And like I said, there's free trips and activities that you can take part of. Just use up as much resources as you can possibly take in. And then FAFSA. I really want to mention FAFSA because a lot of my friends I noticed don't fill it out, and I have no idea why, because it basically is the reason why I have free schooling. It covers a lot of my tuition. It's always on October 1st, and it's first come, first serve. You get less money the later you do it. So I always try to do it on October 1st, even though that's the very first day. Just do it, get it done. I feel like people are overwhelmed by how long it might take, but it doesn't take that much time. It takes less than an hour. It's taken me like 30 minutes before. They made it so much easier with the IRS data retrieval. It just grabs your parents' IRS stuff. Do it with your family there, like when you travel back home and stuff, because they'll ask for tax return stuff, and so you'll need that. And you just need your parents for some questions. And then there's like work study available. I think Sam mentioned a little bit about this. It's just money that you can earn through a job that's not taxed at a higher rate than a normal job does. And then there's things called refunds, where if your school gives you more money than you need, they'll refund it back to you, which is cool. Again, because of FAFSA. If FAFSA, let's say, gives you $20,000 and you only need $15,000, they'll give you the $5,000 for yourself to use however you want. So fill it out, everyone. And it's every year. So don't fill it out now and then forget about it. You need to do it every year in order to renew your FAFSA. And then I said find free money. Again, there's so much free money in college that I feel like no one talks about. I feel like some of the jobs I do, like I said in this PowerPoint, I had 6 jobs throughout college. I was an RA, I was a receptionist, I did graphic design for the school, I was a teacher's assistant, I was a part of a religious org representing Orthodox. I did WAG on the side for fun, I walked dogs, and then I also did freelance design. Now obviously you don't have to do all of this, it's just the opportunities that were present for me. You can have 1 job or 2 or none and still make it, but these are easy things that I picked up that didn't really require that much effort, and just gave me so much money to put towards schooling. And then I want to point out hustle culture is annoying. There's this culture of like, and I'm kind of perpetuating it right now too by saying like I had 7 jobs or whatever, but everyone's like, I stayed up all night and I did all-nighters and I had to do 50 papers, and you don't have to feel that way. You can sleep and get good rest and not feel bad that you're not doing all these things. Just be prepared for it. That's just how people in college are. They just talk about how hurt they are, I feel like, due to college, and you don't have to be if you do things correctly. And then I said, know how to manage your time and know how much you can handle. You might not necessarily handle, and again, the 6-7 jobs I had wasn't all at once. Maybe I had 4 jobs at once or 3. but so know what you can personally handle. If you can only handle one job, or you can't handle a job while going to school, there's nothing wrong with that. Just know what you can handle and what you can do. And the last point I made, again, is do not compare yourself to anyone. You are you, and you're unique, and you don't need to do what anyone else is doing by yourself. These are just kind of inspirations of how easy it is to find jobs in college. At least for me it was, or like from my experience. It might be harder if you have a bigger school or if jobs are limited. And they probably will be because of this whole crisis right now. And then this is like kind of, I don't know, a hot take. Your GPA doesn't matter. I guess it's specific, and again, I put disclaimer of unless you're in STEM, which is like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But a lot of, like for me, I'm a graphic designer, and they always tell me to remove my GPA from my resume. They don't really care about it. I'm not quite sure why, but they mostly want to see the work I've done, the portfolio I've built. They want to see all the designs I've made, all the experiences I've had, which companies have I worked with. They don't care about my GPA. And again, very specific to your major, so look into that. But from the very beginning, going into the mindset of I have to build my resume, I have to get internships, I need to do these things, that is more beneficial than saying I need to get an A in this like religious class or whatever class you're in. But that being said, you really need to do your absolute best in school. That helps you build relationships with your professors because they take notice, and you need those professors to then like write you recommendations later. And repeating classes isn't fun or worth your time. So, and it's very costly. So don't do that. Like, I'm not suggesting you get bad grades, but if you get a B or C or whatever, you just had a hard year or a hard quarter on that class, don't beat yourself up, because you can have a comeback one, and two, maybe your grades aren't the only thing that matters. It's also about your learning experience. Get what you paid for. Salam really suggested rate my professor. I also suggested take it with a grain of salt. I feel like a lot of people go on there because they're angry that their professor didn't give them an A. That some professors are just really hard, but they're really good professors, which I've experienced. They won't easily give you an A, but they're really good professors. So again, take it with a grain of salt. But I really do like rate my professor. That's the first thing I do when I'm picking my classes. I search up the professors, see how they're doing. I also see like what other projects they've worked on, or if they're just interesting, because honestly, a bad professor will kill the class for you no matter how fun it is, at least in my experience. And a good professor will make the most boring class really entertaining. So it's really honestly about the professor. So ask around to like, hey, what professor have you had? How are they? Don't look for easy professors, but look for those that are just good at what they do and are well educated and are good for your teaching style. And again, I said know your best studying style and learning style. Like, I'm a very visual person. That's why I even made this PowerPoint. I like to write my notes out and then copy it onto my computer. That helps me with memorization and all that other stuff. So know that, and that might take you time to learn, but that's something that's really important. And I said, don't be afraid to ask questions. Come to after our classes. I go to those so many times to see my professors. Again, it builds that relationship with them. And they're also very understanding. I don't know if I put this out somewhere else in the PowerPoint, but don't be afraid to argue your grade. I've gotten a B once and argued it to an A just because I showed them the work. And they have a lot of students that go through grading and stuff, and they just sometimes might need an argument. And if you prove them right, you prove them right. And if they didn't think you deserve that, then that's that, and you tried. But don't be afraid to get what you paid for, because you are paying so much money to go to the school. Get the help you need. Don't just waste it on just saying, oh well, like this is what I get. This is a little bit of a touchy subject, but I said hold on to your good cultures and avoid the dangerous ones. And although this is like a religious presentation, I still wanted to point this topic out just because I don't think avoiding it is the most beneficial thing, because it's a real thing and it occurs. there are just really unhealthy, really toxic, problematic cultures in college, such as party culture, hookup and rape culture, drinking and drug culture. All these things occur, and I don't think we should tiptoe around it. They exist. But my suggestion is, obviously, they will educate you a lot. They do a lot of presentations on that. Educate yourself as well. Be very wary, be very cautious, protect yourself. And also know your culture and find ways to incorporate that in your studies and clubs. I have a picture of me and Dagmar because I went to the museum by my school for a project, and we had to pick an artwork we had to write about. And I picked this one because I know most about it. It's easier to write about things you already know to begin with. And that's one way I can educate my professors as well about my own culture. And like I said, I do animation, and you can see at the bottom that's a project I was working on for class, and just finding ways to incorporate your culture, your heritage into the things that you learn, and avoiding the cultures that are not really good for us and are dangerous. I said add a prayer room to your dorm and listen to Mezmor out loud. That I know my roommate would always ask me questions about the Mezmor, what it meant, and she would even sometimes request that I put it on because it soothed her. So it's just interesting. It's what you make your experience. If you're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed to put on Mezmor and I don't want to pray at night because she's going to be like, why is she looking at me, or why is he looking at me? Then that's what you've made that for yourself. But if you're like, this is what I'm going to do, this is who I am, then that's the experience you're going to get out of it. The next point is, it's okay to fail as long as you keep trying. It took me 3 tries to get my major right, and I think that's really surprising for myself, because I'm a very decisive person, so I really didn't think it'd take me that long, but it did. Like I said, I started out as a computer science major and animation minor. Then I switched my minor to my major, so I was an animation major with a computer science minor. And I was like, I really just don't like computer science. I don't want it as my major. I don't want it as my minor. And then I picked up psychology as my minor because I had taken a lot of AP classes in it, and I was already halfway there, and I really enjoyed psychology, and I wanted to do something that I enjoyed. So I added that in, finished my psychology minor, and then I changed my animation major into a graphic design major and made my animation another minor. Really complicated, but point is, I finally feel comfortable and I'm happy. I think something to point out is that in the STEM field, it's like men populated, and if you're a female in there, you either have to be like, I love this topic, I'm gonna chug through this, I don't care what people say. I was overwhelmed by how condescending, how misogynistic men can be in that field, which is just probably like my experience in that field. It could be different for everyone else, and I have a lot of CS major friends that are girls, so it works out for different people. But I also just didn't like the topic. It was not something that brought me joy, so just be wary of that certain majors are, it goes same for males going for the other topics or other majors. There might be majors where males are not treated as kindly. I don't know what they are, but just being understanding of that and cognitive of that and being prepared of that helps you. But like I said, it took me, it's said that the average person tries 3 times before getting their major, but anyways, it might take you a while. That's okay. I found my major and it's good, and I'm happy and really content in it. And then I said, see your advisors as often as possible and befriend them. I see my advisor a lot, and he helped me in terms of, like, I don't like the class, he'll let me take another one in place of it. And that only happens, if you have tighter bonds with them and they're willing to hear you out and listen to you. So, I mean, they're not doing anything special. They have that ability to do that, but it just really helps to know your advisors, see them, help them plan out, make sure you're on track every time, nothing is out of the way. Sometimes a class you really need might get canceled and throw you off track, but then they'll help you figure things out. And I said you'll experience lots of rejection through whether that's through your job, scholarship applications, friendships, and that's okay. God has better plans for you. You just have to keep trying. and you'll get accepted into many things, twice as many things. So just be prepared for rejection and also really good successes. And then faith, my advice for that is to get a confessional father. I think that really helped me out. I feel like I didn't go to church as much while I was in college. I feel like I was better towards the end now. But in the very beginning, I just felt overwhelmed in the change in my life that I didn't go to church as often. But having my confessional father, he helped me through fasts and adjusting them in a way that worked for me, because I would always tell my confessional father, I really stay up late and I eat, even though I'm not supposed to eat past 12, and we would do things to help me with that. And friendships, I talked to him about friendships and relationships and just all these things that are bothering me in life, and like a mini therapy session, and it just makes you feel good and connected to your faith, because you're not like, it's not this thing in the back burner, it's there, you're just working on it. And I said, try partaking in fasts and find the nearest church near you, and ultimately just try your best for you. Don't feel like you're failing your faith because you're not going to church. There's so much more to faith than going to church, and how you can practice that. Then my last thing is tips. This is just a list of things. Grammarly, get it, really helps you with spelling and all these other things. Use Siri or similar AI to read your paper. You're supposed to read your paper out loud, but if you yourself think you spelled it right, you're going to read it wrong. So I like to have Siri read it, or there are things that you can get online to help you just read it in this like computer voice, but it'll catch the things that are wrong a lot better than you would catch it if you don't have somebody else to proofread your paper. I record my lectures on my phone if I'm just having a bad day and I'm zoning out or I'm not listening, and then I go back and listen to it. Save your useful websites on your tab, like Google Doc and your school website and your mail, so you can quickly get to them. Go to resource centers. I go to the writing center all the time if I have paper. It just is a sure way to get an A, I feel like. And then have few friends in each class with their numbers. Don't just have one. If you can, try to get two, just in case that person is also absent or sick. It just helps to be like, hey, what was up? Did I miss anything? If you choose to not go to class that day. Be ready to get to know your professor well for networking and letters. Don't procrastinate. I always procrastinate, I feel like, and I save things for the last minute, which is so bad. And you get better at these things, and it's crazy how I can now whip up a 5-page paper in like a couple hours, whereas that felt so daunting when I first came to college. So you just get better at these things, but don't procrastinate still. It's just like really a horrible habit to get into. All-nighters are horrible for your body, as last week presenters talked about. I unfortunately did a bunch of those as well, and you probably will find yourself doing them, but try to treat yourself better afterwards. Find the best study space for you. That might not be your dorm, that might be the library, that might be outside, that might be a cute cafe, I don't know, but find it for you. Have a be like that attitude, because a lot of times I was so stressed on things going the right way. Sometimes you just gotta be like, okay, I guess it's like that, like it's fine, I just gotta move on and try something else. Be kind to yourself, don't be so hard on yourself, work hard, have built-in time for you, call your parents, they really appreciate that. I try to call my parents once a night, maybe twice a week if things are getting busy. Be careful with what you post. Those things are dangerous. Even if you don't know the intent or what's going on in the background, I've seen people get suspended, lose their jobs, lose their scholarships through what they post. So if you don't need it, don't post it. And lastly, breathe and enjoy your time, because it goes by so fast. That is my presentation. I'm so sorry that it's so long. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. I think it's like very precise, and I would say pertinent, and yet it's a comprehensive presentation. So I enjoyed it, you know. Rather than sharing my experience, it's better to hear from firsthand from you guys. So that's why I let you to have that time. And you spend 30 minutes, then that's okay, and that's good. That's a very good experience you shared to the group. Thank you very much. So we go to Thomas.
Hello, everybody. So Hannah basically said a lot of the things that I was going to touch on too, but let me just share my screen real quick. Oh, Seaside, if you can let me share my screen. It says the host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, I think the host is hiding somewhere. Let me get him. Hermes?
Yeah, my friend was 2013, 2014, so quite some time has gone by. Okay.
You're not able to do it?
No, we should be good now.
Okay.
All right, you guys can see the screen, right? Yes?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. So Hannah did a great job. We had a lot of similarities. I had a couple of different. I mean, everyone has different experiences in college, so that's why it's great to have multiple people talk about their experiences, right? So your first semester of college, you should want to get off to a very fast start, right? You want to set the tone for your 4 years of college. Off to a great start. Have healthy study habits. And basically just try to do the best that you can, because we're creatures of habit, and if we have good habits, we have good overall healthy habits, you're going to set that tone for during your first semester for those 4 years, and your classes are only going to get harder once you go work your way up through those 4 years. So that's why it's very imperative to get off to a very fast start. And like Hannah said earlier, with your gen ed classes, you're required to take classes outside of your major. So these are classes that you might not be interested in taking, but you're required to take them. So why not take the easiest ones? These classes are GPA boosters. And if you need research, if you need help to find out which classes can be the most beneficial for you, you can ask older friends. You can ask your RA. You can ask just people that have taken these classes on ratemyprofessor.com, or just in general, just meeting people, seeing what classes they've taken as well. And it's fine if you take a gen ed that excites you, but I think this is just a very valuable thing to know. It will also help you get off to a fast start as well. Getting involved, that is one of the most important things you can do your freshman year. There's social clubs and professional clubs. Both clubs in general are just a great way to make friends. Everyone's new to college. My experience, there were decent people from my high school that went down to the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, but you have to make friends outside of your initial friend group, and it's a great way to get involved. And everyone else is nervous, so out of their comfort zone. So why not just go out of your comfort zone and take advantage of that? So for me personally, I have 2 clubs that I joined that I wanted to talk about. Finance Club and Hall Council. So I was very involved in my residence hall my freshman year of college. I befriended my RA. I went to all the activities. He told me to join the Hall Council Club. They met once a week in the multi-purpose room within the residence hall. And doing that, I met like-minded people, who just wanted to get involved. And I also met the resident director of the entire residence hall. And by getting to know her and, getting to talk to her professionally and socially, that helped me get my my RA role for 2 years, my sophomore and my junior year. And that was just a great way to, get my name out there. So there are clubs out there that you can join that will help you socially and professionally. And I don't know if you guys heard me say this earlier. I was a finance major at the University of Illinois, and I joined a club called Finance Club. A friend of mine told me about it. An older friend of mine told me about it, and that club was very beneficial for me personally, because we got to see industry within the baking field, within just the business field as a whole, come to our weekly meetings, give great presentations, hand out business cards, and other just self-building workshops, whether that's writing a resume. I didn't know how to write a resume going into my freshman year of college. And that's something that they just really don't teach you in high school. I mean, last time I checked, I graduated 7 years ago, so maybe things have changed. But writing a resume, writing a cover letter, and just knowing how to interview. Those are 3 things that will take you a very long way. And that's something that you should you should practice outside of school. So yeah, like I said, like I already said, yeah, networking, leaders within industries coming to speak. Yeah, being well-rounded. So jobs in my field, they actually do, for the most part, care about your GPA. Like some roles have minimum requirements. Oh, you have to have a 3.5 GPA to apply for this role. Oh, you have to have a 3.2 GPA to apply for this role. So in my experience, jobs did care about the GPA, but that's only one single facet of like your entire self. So they want to see what you do outside the classroom as well. They want to see, oh, is he involved in activities outside of the classroom? Does he have leadership roles outside of the classroom? And also with those leadership roles and social and professional clubs, there's scholarship opportunities within those clubs. For example, I got a $4,000 scholarship, $2,000 for one of my semesters and $2,000 for my second, because when I applied internally through my college, they saw that, hey, this guy, he's a decent GPA, he's well involved, involved, he cares about the school, and they want to reward students who actually are involved on campus. Adversity in high school, like many of us, yeah, I mean, it got tough maybe here and there, but overall, high school I feel like was a breeze for the most part. But college is something that I never had to deal with, all the way up to that point in my life. So you'll be tested mentally like you never have been before, and like Hannah said earlier, you got to get the help that you need as soon as you can. For example, if you have a class you're taking, don't sit around and not ask questions. Don't not go to office hours. It's imperative that you go to office hours and meet with your TA or meet with your professor, because if you don't, they're just gonna teach you another lesson that next class, and you're going to be behind from not knowing what the material was for the class before, for the lecture before. So you're just going to be trying to play catch up, and that's a dangerous game to play because it's just too much information that you're trying to teach yourself in a short amount of time. And I think of this as like dishwashing, right? So I remember my mom would be like, hey, after you're done eating, go wash the dishes. And I'll be like, I don't want, I'll wait later. Then all of a sudden the dishes would pile up. And then you think about it, oh my gosh, like I have to wash all these dishes. This is going to take so long. Well, if I just washed the dishes right after I was done using them, then the problem would have went away. And that's something that you have to be proactive with. That's something you have to go out of your way with. The moment that you feel uncomfortable, or the moment that, you're just not, the material that you're learning is just not clicking. I thought that was a good example. And then no, it's okay to drop a class if you need to. Hannah said this as well. You have many semesters and time in the summer to make up for that class, and it's better for you in the long run. If you're not, if you've done everything that you could, did all the, go to office hours, try to do all the homework, go to all the lectures, and it's just not clicking with you, maybe you're just not ready to take that class right now. You can take that later on. You have many more semesters, and you can take summer classes as well to make up for that class. So no, it's okay to drop a class if you have to. Moderation. Moderation is probably the most important word of your college experience, right? You study too much, you're just all focused about school, you're gonna burn out. It's impossible to just be fully focused on your studies and just study all day and not have a social life. You're going to burn out. It's not healthy for you mentally. That's just something that you got to have a healthy balance with. But on the other side, it's not good to have fun too much, right? If and I don't think this is going to be a thing for you guys, but hey, you see things in college. Hannah, you've seen things in college, right? Paul, my experience, people that party too much, people that forget why they're at school, they just overall, tend to form bad habits, and those bad habits, like I said earlier, we're creatures of habit. If you have bad habits, it's just going to be a spiral effect, and it's just going to be hard to make up for lost time. So that's why I said the next bullet point, just have healthy habits. So if things ever get too hectic for you, take a step back, take a deep breath, do something that you find fun. For example, I haven't really told that many people this, but I actually got homesick my first week of college. It's crazy. Like, you know, I'm a social guy, like nothing's ever happened to me really, but I got homesick my first week of college, and I just had to leave. I had to go back home. Went home for the weekend and hung out with my parents and my friends that were still in Wheaton. And, you know, after that, you know, never got homesick again. So do something, you know, that just makes you happy. Just have healthy coping mechanisms. Like, I just wrote down examples that I use, like listen to music, play basketball, hang with friends, go on a walk, maybe read scripture. But the one thing that I really need you guys to know, that don't look towards drugs or alcohol as a coping mechanism for your stress. And again, I don't think you guys will, but you'll see people in college do this, and it's not the best way to get around with how you're feeling. So summer classes, you know, and attendance overall. I took a few summer classes at the College of DuPage, you know, during the summers of my freshman to sophomore year and my sophomore to junior year. It's a great way to keep your brain working in the summer. So you can meet up with your guidance, you can meet up with your counselor for your major and just see which other schools have classes that you can take in the summer. And that's a good thing to do because it's basically like two birds in one stone. It eases your workload for that next semester because you've got that class taken off the list. And then it also helps you, you know, just keep you mentally alert, you know. In that summertime, people can get, you know, people can get lazy. People can get, you know, just I can just finally, you know, take a long break. But it's good. I feel like it's good. One class really won't hurt you. And it will pay off in the long run because you're going to have those credit hours that you won't have to make up or that you won't have to take in the fall or winter when you're at college. And that's what I did for my accounting 201 and 202 class. And then, you know, I wrote down that, hey, I'm not the smartest person. And that's a good thing. I mean, I know that. Like, it's good you should know who you are, right? I know that I'm not the smartest person, but I do know work ethic. I do know if you pay attention. I do know if you go to class, and I do know if you take notes. That's more than half the battle right there. Something about me, maybe some of you guys know this, I had perfect attendance all 4 years of high school. And just, you know, knowing that, okay, if I just show up to class, that's going to put me at a great advantage because, you know, some of these big lecture halls, yeah, they'll post their notes online and maybe you can teach yourself that. But my personal style of learning is, you know, actually attending class, taking notes, and just physically leaving my room and trying to be productive. And hey, college is expensive, so yeah, you might as well go to class. I mean, honestly, you're paying a hefty price for this, so you might as well go. And like I said earlier, work ethic, you know, it goes a long way. You can't just not show up to your job, you know, once you graduate after college, like when you don't feel like it. So it's good to just form healthy habits like that. Living on your own. So when you're in college, you know, that's the time you become an adult. You're growing up. So for me, it was the first time living on my own. So what did that really come with? Oh, that came with freedom. So I could do what I want. I could stay up late. I could, you know, just, you know, not having parents around, I could just do whatever I please. But you got to understand that with freedom comes accountability. You have to be accountable. And in college, no one will push you but yourself. Just remember that it's up to you to do the things that you're there for. You can go out and, you know, ask for assistance, but it's all up to how you, just how you want your college experience to be. So for example, like your first month of classes, you know, you're going to want to set a schedule for, you know, each day of classes. Okay, so Monday, I have 3 classes, 10, 1, and 2 o'clock. Okay, so from 10 to 12, okay, I can take lunch between class, or I can, go back to my dorm and take a nap. So you're gonna realize that you're gonna have a set schedule while you're living on your own. And Hannah said this earlier. Hey, it's great to have a job on campus, but know your schedule first before you try to get a job. That's very important, because if you don't, you're gonna be trying to juggle things that you think you can juggle, but hey, it may work, but just know that your school comes first. Your schedule first before you apply for a job. And then, hey, remember what our parents taught us. It's be clean, be respectful, be kind, treat others the way you want to be treated. This is the first time you're gonna be having a roommate. Respect your roommate. Have like when I was in RA, we used to do roommate contracts as well. Just have a middle ground with your roommate, and that will go a long way. Because as long as you guys respect each other, then problems shouldn't arise. But it's just overall great way to just show who you are. And I was lucky I had a really respectful roommate. We got along really well and became friends. Even after our freshman year too. So that was really nice. Another point I wanted to make was have fun. College goes by really fast. Like I said, I graduated 3 years ago. I don't know where the time went. It's unreal how fast it goes. My freshman year was 2013. It's 7 years later. Have fun, but remember why you're there, right? Most of us are first generation college students. Our parents didn't go to college. This is something that we should be taking advantage of. Just always try to put that in the back of your head, whenever you make a decision, because that's this is something that, hey, our parents our parents and many others wish they had this opportunity. So just know why you're there. And then also set goals for yourself. You don't have to start off with a goal, but work your way up. Maybe by your junior year, you want to have 1 internship, or this, your second semester, you want to have your GPA 0.2 or 0.1, higher GPA than your last semester. Okay, so that's my goal. How am I going to do this goal? And what am I going to do to achieve that specific goal? That's something that you should always want to have. You don't need to start off with the biggest goal. You should work your way up. And then your first week of school, what I did personally the evening before my first day of class was I walked to all my classes so I knew where they were at. You're going to be really nervous and excited your first day of school. And it's easy to get lost when you don't know campus. So that's just a great benefit that great thing that I did personally was, going to my classes that evening before, so I knew where exactly to go. And it's first impressions are a lot. So if you show up on time, your teacher will know who you are. It's only going to be working to your benefit. So know where your classes are. And know where your classes are. And also, if you're at a school with a bus system, learn the bus system as soon as you can. Like me personally, I would just walk to all my classes, on campus. But I didn't like that, and that was only because I was just like too nervous to take the buses. I didn't want to get lost, in a college town. So with me, I didn't start taking the buses until it got cold outside. So that's something I wish I just knew right away. So yeah, you should also do that in your first week of school too. You can also ask your RA about that as well. Like me personally, my first year of college was very helpful. Was very just beneficial to me because I had an RA that I befriended, and I know some are not nice, but they are at the end of the day, they are great resources. They just have general knowledge about the school and about, the freshman life on campus and about being new to college. They can tell you, different activities that are going on. You can ask them personal questions, and if they don't know, they can direct you to people that would know. And that's something that was one of the reasons why I became an RA, because I really enjoyed my RA. He was a great resource to me. So that's why I wanted to give the next incoming freshman, that same experience that I had. And then, yeah, you know, other information that I put down was don't take an 8 a.m. class unless you have to. Kind of, I know you can agree with that, right? Yeah. You're gonna be, you know, you're gonna be up pretty late at night. Sleep is very important. Don't take an 8 a.m. class unless you absolutely have to. Trust me. And I know. Take care of your mental health. You know, we have a lot of resources on campus. You know, you have some teachers are very you know, personal one-on-one. You have your RAs, guidance counselors, therapists, family, friends. You need your mental health to be at the best in order to just be the greatest student or the greatest person that you can possibly be. Because if that's not where it needs to be, then everything else is going to be put on the back burner. This is the most important thing. Take care of your mental health. Don't ignore the warning signs. Again, it's kind of like that dishwashing example that I said earlier. You know, don't try to wait until the problem's too big. Try to tackle that problem as soon as you can. And I think, you know, that would be the most beneficial to each and every one of you. Time management, you know, procrastinating, hey, it works in high school, but in college, it's a totally different beast. You'll be writing long papers, you're gonna be having all-nighters, you're gonna be having, you know, multiple tests within that same week, midterm week. And that's just something that you need to learn. And it's also a very valuable life skill to have with having good time management skills, knowing what's important and what's not, how to just rank, be done in a certain order. And that's something that you learn over your overtime while you're at school. Ask questions in class or office hours. You know, it only hurts yourself. You're only hurting yourself if you don't. If you're not understanding the material, if it's not clicking for you, don't shy away from that. Take that as a challenge and get out of your comfort zone. You know, be proactive and go up to your teacher or your RA or your TA, and you know, just go and tell them, hey, you know, I didn't really understand the material. Is there a way that we can go over this? And they should be glad to help you. They should be glad to help you. So that's something that you should definitely take advantage of. Hannah said this too. Do research before you buy your textbooks. Are they online? Can you buy a used textbook for a cheaper price? The school bookshop is really expensive for no reason at all, but it's really expensive. So if you can find, you know, a used book online, you know, there might be a Facebook group for that, or maybe I don't know, like a friend took a class that, you know, a semester or two before, and that now you're taking that class. You can just buy it off of them for a cheaper price. That will go a long way. Let's see. And then, yeah, like I also wrote down college as a weight room, right? Doesn't matter what school you go to. You can go to the finest institution. You can go to the local community college. It really doesn't matter. It's what you do in that weight room. You know, you can have the nicest weight room, but if you're not lifting the weights, if you're not putting in the effort, that weight room is pointless. So just do what you need to do, and just be accountable. That's really the main point of, you know, the whole college is a weight room for me. And then learn how to write a resume, cover letter, interview. That will take you a long way. You're going to be applying for internships. You're going to be applying for roles within leadership roles within your groups that offer interviews as well. So this is a very important life skill to have. Then, I mean, I'm still learning. You know, it's something that you can always work on too. You know, I'm always updating my resume, always updating my cover letter, and, you know, always just trying to work on my interview skills, you know, just because that this is just a valuable life skill to have. And then the last point, answer the phone when your mom and dad call. They're always worrying about you, especially my mom and dad, you know them. They're always worrying. So just, if they call, maybe you're busy, you can just text them back saying, hey, how are you doing? I'm busy right now, I'll call you back later. Just always check in with them, because that's something that they'll appreciate. And then, yeah, I was gonna open up to questions. You know, feel free to ask me anything. I wrote down my phone number here. And then Google is your friend too. I mean, we live in the internet age. If you have a question, I guarantee many other college students have had that question as well. So you can find out a lot by just typing away. So that's all that I had to say. really enjoyed that. Yeah, if you ever wanted to call me or text me, feel free. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. It was very entertaining and a great presentation, I would say.
Thank you.
You have a vast experience, so sharing that experience with our, I will call them kids, but they are no more kids, you know, they are in high school.
They're not, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a good thing. Great to have you in our church as a church member, you know, and then we know the resource where to tap now, you know. So you guys are our resource, and you know, the future endeavor. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So the next presenter will be Frey. Is Frey there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
Okay. Thomas took most of my ideas.
Oh, sorry.
He's presenting everything like a parent. I am really left out with nothing right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, it's okay, Thomas. I am very happy you gave this kind of presentation. It's just like Hannah and you really gave the kids a wonderful experience. But while my college experience is not going to be useful right now, it's 20 years ago, and there was, believe it or not, there was no cell phone when we go to school. So we used to use, that wall phone. So technology-wise, everything is just outdated right now to tell the kids about my college experience, unless as an international student, what happened when we come here, the cultural shock, and all that. But I'm sure your parents told you about it all the time. But I would like to thank the education committee for setting up this kind of orientation for class of 2020 and including me to speak. I appreciate that. As a parent, right now, I will ask the kids, why do we worry? Why do we worry when our kids go away for college? It's natural. We have to worry. It's just a parent thing to worry, but there's a way to help us not to worry. Like Thomas said earlier, answer your phone call and answer text message. I have heard some kids like, I'm busy, I can text you, I can call. That's really, these days, the technology is wonderful. You can send even just, I'm okay. That's good enough for parents to know their kids are okay. The other thing, we worry about who are you hanging with, and we don't know the other side. We know our kids. Our kids are always telling us the truth. We trust you guys. We know you are mature enough, but it's just not knowing the other side, the so-called friend. Not everybody's nice. Not everybody is really angel. So that's what gave us a fear. We have a fear of that. So, tell your parents who you are hanging with and where you're going. And if you go somewhere, just tell us, be there, and not, you say you want to be this place, you're going to be this place, and then you change, and then we don't know where you are. So that worries us. So please help your parents by doing that. This is I'm speaking on behalf of parents. So I'm sure all parents feel this way. Like answer phone calls, answer text messages. The other thing, I want to talk about is, well, this is my experience as, you know, as when I work, like I'm precepting some students from NIU and ISU for their fourth year students. They come in our department to do internship, and then there are like minor things that they can do and pass their, you know, evaluation, but it's just overlooked. You give them information, but they're not really paying attention to it. And then those kids are very smart, book smart, they get straight A's in the classroom, but when it comes to performance, they just didn't take it seriously, which is gonna affect their grade and their evaluation. So what I'm gonna share with you is that your parents are always telling you these things. I know you have a solid foundation from you're raised in a good household and all that, but I'm just repeating this to remind you that being on time, all that, you know, be on time to the classrooms and work, internship, you name it, be on time, because on time people, they always get all the information. Like if you go to classroom on time, you get all the information that your professor is gonna, you know, trying to tell you, and then but if you're late, you miss out. So if you're late, maybe if you're driving, you're gonna drive fast. When you drive fast, you get caught by a cop, and then you get in trouble, and maybe even worse. So being on time is a good quality. And the other one is organized. Be organized. Organized people always, being on time and being organized goes hand in hand. If you're organized, you will be on time, because, for example, you have your project done last night, and then you don't know where you put it. When you try to find that project, and you will be late, or you will be nervous, and so that cause anxiety. So be organized. The number one thing for college students is organize. And the other thing is be friendly without going over boundaries. That's another thing that I observe when I precept students. Sometimes, you think you get excited, and then you say stuff that you're not supposed to say to some people, and that's gonna be offending and cost you a lot, or maybe it's not good. So be friendly, but don't go overboard. Accept constructive criticism. If someone criticize you in a good way, or maybe trying to teach you, accept that criticism and learn from it. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people get offended and reject, or I'm gonna drop this class, or this teacher is not nice to me, or this teacher is so-and-so racist, or all that. Don't go there. You have to see, you have to differentiate between constructive criticism and attack, or somebody's picking on you. So you gotta pay attention to that. And the other thing is, when your teacher or preceptor try to teach you, just listen. Don't say, I know. Because when you say I know, especially if you are learning with one-to-one, one student, one teacher, and in the future in your study, most of you probably have to do internship. So that person will be discouraged from telling you the whole information. So they're going to say, okay, he knows, she knows, so I don't have to go any further. And usually young kids have that tendency, and then they say, okay, I know, and then the preceptor or the teacher will stop. Though you didn't get the whole information, and that you're going to be responsible for that material. And so please don't say, I know. Listen all the way, and you get the whole information from that teacher or preceptor or whoever is telling you. So anyway, that's another thing. The other thing is be a team player. Just work with people. Be friendly. Don't be afraid. Maybe you'll have a lab partner. Share the information and be prepared ahead of time. Usually, students in the science who's taking lab, you have to read your procedures before you come to practice, actually do the actual wet lab. So be prepared and be a team player and discuss things with your lab partner or whoever you're working with. Be respectful to others. Thomas said that. Be respectful means it's just like don't say anything that you don't want anybody to say to you. And don't being respectful is our culture, and we raise you that way. So ask people if they need help. Actually, to me, internships start at home, like helping your mom and dad washing dishes, mowing the lawn, all that. If you initiate and do that by yourself, that means you're halfway there in your life because you can do it. Nobody's gonna tell you every time. If you wait until somebody come and tell you, that means you're just standing there. I get a lot of students. You teach them, it's expected, they are expected to do the next day, but they're standing up there and waiting for you to tell them. That is gonna give a wrong impression about you. They think you're lazy or you're not interested to do that. So once someone show you to do something, just initiate that and do it. So if you're doing that at home right now, you're halfway there. Then you'll be good wherever you go. The other thing is control your emotion. Sometimes there are some things that make you emotional or some conflict, but your emotion can take over your intelligence. You lose your temper, and it's gonna go bad from there. So please control your emotion wherever you go. I think that's all I have, because the Hannah and the Thomas, they are really good. I mean, they told you everything you need. That's about it. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Frey. I think you were speaking what was in my mind as a parent, so most of
good.
So thank you very much for presenting that way, and your experience on precepting has some experience you shared with the kids. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So is Mahari there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, great, Mahari. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So we'll give you some time then.
No, that's fine. I'm good.
All right, you can start. Oh, I can see you.
Okay, thank you. በስመ አብ ወወልድ ወመንፈስ ቅዱስ አሐዱ አምላክ አሜን። እንደምን አላችሁ?
እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን።
እግዚአብሔር አምላካችን የተመሰገነ ይሁን። I'm really so proud of you guys, Hannah, Thomas, and Frey as a parent. I'm really so proud of you, especially Thomas and Hannah. Really very, very important things are he taught for the kids. It's teaching is, it's our church is, it's a library, which is we're teaching our kid is where are they going, if they're going by themselves. So you guys, you share them the life. This is what it is. Our church is, there is a book, we call it Sinksar. Sinksar is like in this technology you guys you have is, what do you call it, is it's like the life of our saints, the history of our saints, which is encyclopedia of our church. What they does this all days, what happened in our church is, you'll find it in Sinksar. Now if you go to in website, thanks to God in this technology right now, that Sinksar is on website. You can see it, you can read it every day, what happened to on our church. Where we started from, where we are right now is our fathers. They put it for them because they put it for us because they follow Jesus Christ, so we follow them. So you guys are, that's what you did today. How you guys is, you're passing in college, you're sharing for your brothers and sisters to go where you go is, so it's a very good idea, very good things. What it did is, thank you very much. Now most of your kids, most of kids now, you're going to college. Most of you guys, it's been with me for a long time. We used to sit down and learn a lot of things. So now what I'm going to give it to you is, in our church is, there is a bell when Qadase starts. There is a bell when the middle of Qadase. There is a bell when we started, we said Exio, which is Exiota. There is a bell when Qudus Qurban is coming out from the Maqdis to get Qudus Qurban. So I will give you a bell today, every day, when you go to, where you are, where you're going to school. So to remember that bell every day, to be with you guys, remember this. That's what I'm going to give it to you. Put it in your hearts. That is going to be your bell in your spiritual life. Our Father, King Solomon, and the Proverbs, the chapter 1st, verse 7, that's what he said. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of the knowledge. I will put it upside down. The beginning of knowledge is the fear of God, or the fear of Lord. If the knowledge, now you guys, you're going to learn some knowledge about these worlds. That's Lord all the time. The beginning of the knowledge is, remember the fear of God. Everything you do, you're going to by yourself. There is a lot of challenge is going with you. When I go out from my house, from my country, I was at 20 years old. I went by myself and my brother. We learned a lot of things where we was. I've been in Nairobi, Kenya for 10 years. I was working very hard when I was 20 years old. I know what happened. I know how we passed. Now you're going, guys. We are here with you guys, but you're going out a little bit with us. There is a lot of knowledge, but there is a lot of challenge when you go to the college. That's what they give it to you, your brothers and sisters, and your mother, Frey. That's what we gave it to them. They gave it to you today. That is the way how they pass, and you guys, that's why you should pass. So the fear of the beginning of the knowledge, the fear of God. Here it was, he said, is after chapter 8, listen, my son, to your father instruction, and do not forsake your mother teaching. There will be garland to grace your head, and a chain adorn your neck. That's what is the door of the chain. This is you're teaching your mother, and that's your instruction of your father. Put your maskal, your cross, your, this is, we think is, it's a something bad. Now, all the world says people, they kill because of this cross. You should be proud of it. You gotta put it in your neck. That's, he's gonna teach you, he's gonna learn you, he's gonna take you somewhere, and it's a good place. That's what he said is that Solomon, that is a fear of God. You put it in your heart, you put it in your chain. That is the teaching of your mother. Now, you was here with us. You used to go to church every single day. You used to pray with us every single day. I used to teach you every Sunday at the church. We used to sing together every day, every Sunday at the church. So you remember that you have a lot of things you get, a lot of juice. We gave it to you. It's a spiritual life to have it for all your life. Life is going from now. It's the end of the day. We think we're going somewhere too far, but we don't know where we're going. We don't know our destination is. God is going to give us a destination. There is a lot of people. There is a lot of rich people. Today, they want to do a lot of things. Nobody can go out from the house. We want to go to our friend's house. We want to go our family's, our friend's house. We want to go to our church. We want to be like before. We want to sit down at the church and learning Qadasi, learning it's a Mazmur. We want to learn a lot of things in front of, inside the church. We couldn't do it. This is all is by God happened, these all things. So we have a lot, you guys have a lot of things to do. I know you think a lot of things, but if you put God in first every day, when you wake up, please remember your God. Every day, remember your God. When you wake up, pray to God. It's God, it doesn't need a lot of things from you guys. A small thing, a little thing only it needs from you to remember him. So he's gonna remember you. If you go somebody's house, you're going to bell so someone to open the door for you, or you knock the door to open the door for you so you can get in that house. So what you need is to knock your God's door. Knock my door, I will open the door for you. That's what he said, God. I will knock your door. If someone is open for me, I will get in his house. I will get eat dinner with him. That's what he said. It's our Bible. So to knock the door of the house, how we knock at the door? Every day we have to pray. Doesn't need anything. If you guys, if you can, if you have a Bible, a book, which is we used to sell it in our church. Most of you guys, I know you have it to Dase Maram by English and by Ge'ez. Remember, every day when you wake up, read that one. If you cannot, if you don't have it, if you don't have time, please, when you wake up, just stand up in front of God. Put some pictures, Meritachin picture, Saint Mary picture in front of you in your door. Pray Abbatachin Hoy. That's the only thing he teach us, God. Our Father, the way they say it, is sleeping is the small days. So when we sleep, we are like a dead people. We cannot listen until we wake up. So before you sleep, please pray. Before you wake up, please pray. Remember, knock the door, the God door, to not wake you up the next morning, so you will be healthy and to go to your destination. When you wake up, remember, pray, say Abbatachin Hoy, and then go to your school. So when you pray, when you call him a God, he's gonna open your heart. He's going to give you a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. You will get it from the God. If you don't have God, you don't have nothing. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter how you are rich. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have. The end of the day, you will be nothing. But if you have a God, by knowledge and knowledge, God is going to give you more knowledge. If you have a God, whatever, if you are rich, He's going to give it to you, God, more rich, and then you will give to the poor people. You will give to money for your church. You do a lot of things. God is going to give you a lot of knowledge, a lot of whatever you want. Otherwise, if you don't have God, you don't have nothing. Remember this. Put it in your heart every single day, please. When you are here, you was doing. We used to fast. Now this 16 days is a fasting day. Please, all of you guys, remember, these 16 days, fast at least if you can until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. If you cannot do it until 12 o'clock. I know you can do it. It's not a big deal. You know, our kids, even Salam Aram is 9 years old. He do it until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So who's gonna give you the next day where you go is gonna be a bright your place where you're going. Where you go learn is gonna be bright for you. Remember yourself, remember your family. Every single day when you wake up and on your sleep, remember your family, remember your church, remember your country. That's what life is. Life is not only for ourselves, life is not only for yourself. Life for all of us, for you brother, for you sister, for your mother, father, and for your church, and for your country. We are waiting a lot of things for you guys. Learn, come back to here, and do what we do for you guys. What we teach you for you guys is to teach our kids, to those the little ones, to grow up with you guys the way Hannah and Thomas what they did today. I know you will do it. Now, when you are here, you guys are you fasting with us? I know that. So when you go there, you will have a challenge. You cannot fast. I don't know how it's going to happen when you go to in college. But trust me, if you cannot do it, I know you can do it to fast, but if you cannot do it, if you cannot do it, if you cannot find the food, remember that fast day. Remember that fast day. God is, he's, you know, people, you know, Solomon is, King Solomon, what he said is, the people, the human being, he saw our face where we are in our face, in our body. But God, He's looking inside our hearts. What we have in our heart is God knows everything. So that's He knows. Remember that. When you, the fast day, when it's happened, remember, I cannot fast. You know what happened, God? You cannot teach it. You cannot cheat Him. You cannot lie to Him. He knows what happened. So I cannot fast. But remember that fasting day. At least fast until midday. Until you can fast. You fast at that time, and then you eat, and then God is going to remember. Trust me, you will get more what you want. It's not only you want. God, He said is, what He said is God. What He told us is, if we are going after our spiritual life, He's gonna give us more what it is in this world it is. It's nothing is gonna give us everything what we want. But we have to be strong in our spiritual life. So this is the things I can give it to you. It's like a bell. Remember it in your life, please. Anything you have a question about your spiritual life, about your life, anyone, you can call me. You know, we used to call each other. You can call me. You can ask me whatever you want. As the Father, as your teacher, I will answer whatever the question you have. We can discuss a lot of things. And right now is the way Hannah, Thomas, and Frey, they said is every day, please remember your family. Answer the phone. It is very, very, very important things for us. remember your family every day. What you do is, what she said is, Hannah, is what you do is, it's not only for yourself. It is for your family. We will be so proud of it. If we are happy, God is going to be happy, guys. The life of now, when you go to the college, the place you go in, if it doesn't have, if there is no church, if you can, whatever, if you can, please remember Sunday to go to church as what you are. If you cannot, every Sunday, remember, especially these days, is all the Qaddas is online. If you can participate that. If you have a dormitory, you cannot do it, please remember to pray every Sunday. Remember the Qaddas, what's in your church. I know today, everywhere you go in the United States, there is Ethiopian Orthodox Church. If you cannot find, there is Egypt Orthodox Church. Remember, what you going to church is, our church is the same doctrine we have. The church is Ethiopian Orthodox Church, Egyptian Orthodox Church, Armenian Orthodox Church, Syria Orthodox Church, and Ethiopia, Armenian, Syria, Hind, and
Eritrea.
Eritrean Orthodox Church. Otherwise, is anyone Orthodox Church, if they say it doesn't matter in Greece, it doesn't matter in Russia Orthodox Church, it doesn't matter what the church is, it's not the same doctrine. You cannot go and take Kiddush Korban, or you go to that church is to do anything in that church. Otherwise, all the churches I told you, you can go there and you can take Kiddush Korban. You can go there, you can do whatever you want in that church, because the church it's the same. But I can tell you something I want to remember. Please, I want to remember, where you go in the church is, if even the doctrine with us, even if it is the same, there is a lot of Beta what we do is, it is not the same. Don't be surprised. How we do Kiddush Korban in our church, in other churches, maybe it's not gonna be the same. The Qaddas, how we do it and they do it is, it's not gonna be the same. Do not be surprised. And you know, the thing is, you are guys, we are so lucky, because we have, nobody have it in this world. Only Ethiopian Orthodox have it. Tabot, Ark of Covenant, nobody have it in this world, only us. That's why our church is a Maqdis is very strict. Of course, they do it as Ark of Covenant. They have something to do. I cannot tell you right now, but do not be surprised if you can go Armenian church or Syrian church or Egyptian church or Indian church. It's not the same. Eritrean church, Ethiopian church. This is the same people, the same church, the same doctrine, the same everything. We are the same people. It's the things is, it's a bordering thing. It's not a different thing. We have the same people. So forget about it. Ethiopia and Eritrea it's the same one church. But the other church is, there is a lot of difference, you see. I know you cannot find it. If you go there, I will be happy. Don't worry. But remember, there is a lot of that. The church, what they do is, it is not the same. Do not surprise. Let me know if you have a question if you go there. So please remember, the beginning of knowledge is the fear of Lord. I wish you a very good luck. I will pray for you guys every single day, as your father, as your teacher. You grow up with me, you know. So I wish you a very good luck. God, I know my God is our God is gonna be with you. Our Father, I know, is gonna remember you every single day. So that's not enough. You know, our one father, what they said is, he came here every day. He told to one father, he said, is please pray for me, please pray for me, please pray for me. He said, okay, I'll pray for you, I'll pray for you. One day, that father, he was so sick, and then he called the guy. He said, are you praying? He said, no, you pray for me. You pray for me? So you don't pray? Listen, my son, he told him to sit down. There is no one, it goes to heaven by other person prayer. If you cannot pray by only my prayer, you cannot go, you cannot do anything. If we work together, yes, there is a chain between me and you. If you don't pray, if I pray, you don't pray, we don't have no chain, you cannot do anything. But if you pray, I will pray for you. We're gonna have the same chain, so God, he will hear us. He hears us because of our sins. But if you don't ask, you don't pray, by other person pray only, you cannot go and you cannot do anything. But if you pray every day, we tell Saint Mary, the angels, the saints, the mothers, we tell them every single day, pray for us. They pray for us because we pray, they will listen to us, so they will pray for us to God. God is going to give us whatever we want. But if we don't pray, we're not going to get anything. The last things in our Sinksar book is what he said is, one guy, make sure, please, you need to work hard in his spiritual life. If you want to be this worldly life to be a successful and a happy life, if you want to have, you need to work hard in your spiritual life and in this world. If you don't work hard, you cannot go anywhere, you cannot get anything, I'm telling you. One guy, he went to the monk, and when he saw him, he think he don't want to do anything, so he told him, he give him one stick. It's a dry stick. He said, go over there, put a water, let's make it grow. He didn't say no. He didn't say no. He took that stick, he put it on the ground, he put the water every single day. And then he give him another one. He give him another one. He gave him 10 sticks. That guy, he never be tired. He never gave up. He was praying every single day, and he put the water on that stick, on those 10 sweet sticks, every single day. He got too far to bring the water to grow up those sticks. Finally, those sticks, they start bringing a branch. And then they start to bring a beautiful fruits. And the father, he saw him, he said he looked him like a saint, and he called all the monks from everywhere. He said come and eat this, my son's fruits. He said, what do you mean? How did come this fruit in this place? He told them the history. If you listen our father, if you listen your mother, you can get whatever you want. There is a last thing, I'll give it to you. There is a monk, he was very saint person. This saint is every single day when he pray, God, he was come to him, Jesus Christ, he was talking to him every single day. So he said let me wash your head, let me wash your leg. And Jesus Christ is everything, anything is possible for God. And he washed him his leg, and then when he see him, it's going to be visible. He went away from him. One day he washed his feet, and then he drank that water, that sense. And then the son, he told him he put the water, he drank half of them, and he put it for them. He said when he came back, he said, drink from that things. There is a water over there, go drink it. And this son, he said, why he told me to drink from this dirty thing? Why he don't give me a pure water? He don't know what happened. And then the second time he came back, did he drink water? He said, no, go drink that water. This guy, he didn't listen. The third time he came, he told me, did you drink water? Go drink it. And the third time when he go over there, that water is gone from there, was dry. And then he said, Father, there is no water here. Son, I told you to drink it. You don't want it. That's why that water is dry. That water is my God Jesus Christ, my Lord Jesus Christ. He came here and I wash his foot. That's what I want you to drink, that water. That day he becomes like a man. He becomes like out of mind. And then he told him every day, you know, when he see him, he becomes like a sick. And he told him, go to another father to pray for him. He sent him there. When he sent him there, he stayed with him 3-4 days and he came back. The guy was the same thing. And he told him, go again to the father. When he went to the father, that father, he saw him, he was passing away. He came back, he said, the father is passed away. He told him, he gave him the stick, his stick. But this stick, he said, he tell him, my father, he told you to wake up. That is God, he gave it to them, a power for our father. He went there, he gave him that stick, and when he put that stick on his body, and he told him, my father, he told him to wake up. That body, he waked up and he told him, listen, your father, what he told you. And then he went back to sleep. That guy, from that day, it doesn't matter his father, what he told him, he used to doing it, and then he becomes one of the saints. So, guys, this is a bell I'm going to give it to you. Listen, your father and mother. Listen, your church bell every single day. Remember to pray. Remember the beginning of the knowledge is the fear of God. Fear of God means is do whatever he told you. You know what is the fear of God is. You know what is the Lord what he told us is. You know God what he told us is. You know what is bad. You know what is good is. You know what is sin is, what is good thing is. Run away from sin, please. Run away from sin. Remember, pray every single day. Do whatever God he told you. And then this is one quotation I read from you and I will finish it. The same thing is Proverbs chapter 2 from verse 1. My son, if you accept my words and store up my commands with you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding, and if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure. That's what he said, King Solomon. So let's God be with you guys. Wherever you go is, our God's going to be with you guys. The way I told you, pray, pray, pray. Let's God be with you guys. I think I'm finishing now, Dr. Say.
All right. Thank you very much, Brother Mahari. Kalewot yasamalin.
Amen.
Kalewot yasamalin, Mahari. Thank you.
Ngidi, I think you know, Mahari was with you guys for a long period of time. He was your spiritual mentor and also helping you in every aspect of your growth in the church. So thank you again, Mahari. And if I give him now a chance for college experience, he would have done it because he's in college now, you know that, right? Would have done that for sure. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I think everything has been said, and I think it could be like beating the dead horse if I go in detail of things. But do you see my slides, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I would say, we have to congratulate these kids. They did what is expected from them, and they did a good job. So I think we have to be very, we are rejoicing. As a parent, I would say, this is a time to say that I'm so happy to see our kids, going to college, having that kind of result and getting into the hustle and being there it by itself is a big thing. So we have to congratulate them on what they did. So you can share these verses You know, I think that's from our Bible, and I think Psalm 1:13-3, it says, "From the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised." We praise our God Almighty, to who gave all this opportunity for my kid, for our kids. So as you know, graduating class, there are some memories behind you all the time. Remember your friends, school years, family and community, everything is there. And there are good and bad memories. But you know, a short walk on your memory lane would give you, you know, a chance to appreciate what you are at this point. You achieved something which is very good. So think about that and think about your memories as well. So we congratulate you for achieving so much throughout your high school career and so much on getting into college. So I think what you are doing now is that you have to celebrate what you have earned. This is hard-earned achievement. So we're so happy with you guys to be involved in this celebration. So by doing that, I think people say that it's a pause to give your brain and body to regenerate when you celebrate your graduation. So I think you have to use it for that. And chase your dream. Now you have a dream, and then you go for it and work hard, and you can get it. I can assure you, you will get it because you have done already, you have achieved a lot. So, and never stop trying, and you should never stop also learning. That is the bottom line. And give everything to the best of your ability. So I think the next one would be wise and smart. I think both presenters, Hannah and Thomas, thank God we have them here with a first-hand experience and a lot of, you know, teaching. We had everything there, you to be wise and smart. So your choice should be there. And the Bible teaching us that also for us, you know. You should have like your integrity, dignity, and you should be a model of good works. That is where it is, you know, the last Tito 2:7-8, you can get it there. And the other thing is that Bible also teaches us to be innocent, like dove, but we have to be careful and also wise, like a snake. You know, that Matthew 10:16 will tell you that there. You know, we are, you know, our kids in general, because of our religion culture, they're so innocent when they go outside. I know that for sure. So, but your innocence shouldn't be lead you to be in trouble. Okay, there are some people out there who may help you, but there are some people out there who can drain you down. So you have to watch on that and be careful. Okay, be wise and smart. This is what our Bible teaches. So I think it's already been said. Frey has talking about this, and around you there are always people who loves you a lot. That the first one would be family, your community, your church, and everybody is with you. And now we're tapping to the most resource in our church, like Thomas and other graduating classes, and everybody will be around you. And I think you can get their phone number and contact if there's anything, any problem arise in your college endeavor. So the most important thing is like in John 3:1-4, it says, "I have no greater joy than to hear that my child walk in truth." So that's what we wanted, nothing else. So I think you are doing great. You're already there. You're achieving. Our kids are growing now. And this is a turning point in your life. That's going to college. So think about these verses all the time. So common mistakes in college, I think it's already been discussed. I will not go into it. You know, all these are, you know, you can read it in US News and World Report. They just put it there in a way that is a cooked book kind of thing. You can read about it. So I think Hannah and Thomas did a lot on that. So taking on too much on yourself is another thing you have to watch. You know, you don't have to overload yourself because that would affect your grades as well. Make sure to know about that. And watching too many shows online, I see my boys are doing that. So you have to watch on that, and taking too much on that would precious time. And partying hard. I know you're gonna party for sure, but you know, doing like a lot of drinking and having bad things and that kind of stuff would not be good. As Hannah said, that hold on to good culture and avoid the dangers. This is a very quote of the day. I can say it all the time. So mismanagement of money. I think you are in student loan now, and most of you, I would say. So you have to manage your money accordingly. And you can you know, there is now online thingy where you can go and buy a lot of stuff, and it comes to your door. You'll be happy to get it. It could be a necessary gadget for you. So you have to make sure that you don't buy those kind of stuff, even if you have money now, okay? All right, so I think the other important thing from this one would be ignoring college health guidelines. You know, nowadays they have different guidelines because of COVID, you know, wearing masks and safe distancing with other people and hand washing, all that kind of stuff, remember. And I think most of you would be able to carry your health insurance from your parents because I think that rule has not been changed now, but definitely you need to have health insurance when you go to college, especially when you go in far places. But Hannah told me that they have a kind of subsidized kind of free kind of health thing, and that would be great if you have that, and check on that, okay? All right, so so whatever Mahari said to you guys, I think that's what I can see there. Be careful for nothing, you know. That doesn't mean that you have to sit idle and not knock the door. God said when you knock the door is going to be open. And, you know, to get a good grade, you have to knock the door, you have to study hard, right? So that is how it works. So if you are idle and not do anything, that's not good. But after you do what is expected from you, be careful for nothing. And everything comes with your prayer. Daily prayer is the most important thing in college life, and continue doing that. You know, answer calls when the parents call. Especially, I would say, you know, mothers, they call quite often. And then from fathers, you get it once in a while. Now that's it, right? But mothers will call you, I can assure you. I heard some of my boys when they call, you know, they were not away from us, and how are you? What's going on? Mom, I'm living like 15 minutes away from you, you know? I don't want to hear that. So when somebody call you, please answer and talk to them and, you know, discuss those kind of things. So pray, and everything is going to be given to you. And congratulations again. In all the ways, think on him, and he always and will direct your steps. That is Proverbs 3:6. That is what Mari said. You know, the first knowledge would be fear of God. Thank you very much. I think this is from the group. I just passed from, you know, most points because it has already been saying. It's going to be a repetition. And sorry for my time management because these are very important things, and I let it go. Sorry about that, guys. So if you have any questions or any concern, I think we can discuss now. I will give you like 15 minutes. If not, then you will have a chance to ask everybody of us, including me. You know, you can. I'm there for you guys, and graduating classes, and Thomas and Hannah will be there too. So we can answer anytime if you have any questions. Thank you very much.
And yeah, I can send you the PowerPoint presentation that I made too, if anybody else wants that as well. So yeah, but thank you everybody.
Sure.
Thank you, Thomas. That was wonderful.
All right, guys, do you have any questions? You can forward that anytime.
I want to say something, Dr. Sisa, if it's okay. Don't forget to take your Bible to your dorm, and make sure you put your cross in your neck. That's really nice to do.
All right, thank you very much. So if there's no question, I think we may do some mazmur. Hannah, you can do anything if you want. You're welcome to do that.
A mazmur? You want me to sing a mazmur?
I think we can sing እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን or ለዚህ ቀን ያደረሰን and kind of thing if you want. I know that's a surprise.
Yeah. Is there anyone else that can?
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. All right. Any questions there, guys? All right. If we don't have questions, it doesn't mean that you don't have questions at this point. You can call us anytime, and we can talk and things together. Okay. Yes, is Nika there?
They're not here, but I think Gashamari is here, so I think he should close off with prayer.
Great. So Mahari, are you still there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay. Can you close the session for us and with prayer? Yellow.
በስመ አብ ወወልድ ወመንፈስ ቅዱስ አሐዱ አምላክ አሜን። አቤቱ አምላካችን መድኃኒታችን ኢየሱስ ክርስቶስ በሰላም በጤና ጠብቀህ ለኢሳት ስላበቃህ እናመሰግንሃለን። ካሁን በኋላ ያለውን ሰዓት ተባርከህ ቀድሰህ ስጠን ዘንድ እንማጸንሃለን። ልጆቻችንን በመንፈስ በሞገስ በጥበብ አሳድገህ የሚሄዱበትን ቦታ የቀና አድርገህ ልቦናቸውን ሰብስበህ ያሳባቸውን የልቦናቸውን ፈጽመህ መልካሙን ሁሉ ታደርግላቸው ዘንድ እንማጸንሃለን። ቅዱስ ሳሙኤልን በደጅህ እንዳሳደግከው ልጆቻችንም በመንፈስ በሞገስ በጥበብ በፊት ታሳድግልን ዘንድ እንማጸንሃለን። ያንተን ቃል የሚሰሙ ያንተን ቃል የሚያከብሩ የኛ ልጆች ታረጋቸው ዘንድ እንማጸንሃለን። የሐሳባችን የልቦናቸውን በሙሉ ፈጽምላቸው። ለሀገራችን ሰላም ለህዝባችን ፍቅርና አንድነትን ሰጥልን ዘንድ እንማጸንሃለን። እኛንም ከዚህ ካለው ከበሽታ ሁሉ አርቀህ በሰላም ተሰብስበን በአንድ ላይ ሁላችን ተሰብስበን ንሴብሖ ብለን እንድናመሰግንህ ቅዱስ ፈቃድ ይሁንልን። የእናታችን እመቤታችን የቅድስት ድንግል ማርያም ረድኤቷ በረከቷ ጣዕሟን ፍቅሯን ታሳድርብን ዘንድ እንማጸንሃለን። በዚህ በጾም የምንጾመው ጾም አቤቱ አምላካችን ለኃጢአታችን መደምሰሻ ለመንግስት መውረሻ ታደርግልን ዘንድ እንማጸንሃለን። በአባቶቻችን በቅዱሳን በጾም ጸሎት ስለ ቅዱሳን አባቶቻችን ስለገባኸው ቃል ኪዳን ብለህ በዚህ በምንጾመው ጾም ሀገራችን ሰላም የሚሆንበት፣ ህዝባችን ሰላም የሚያገኝበት፣ ህዝባችን ፍቅር የሚያገኝበት፣ ህዝባችን አንድነትን ምህረትን የሚያገኝበት ዓመት ታደርግልን ዘንድ እንማጸንሃለን። እኛም ሁላችንም ህዝበ ክርስቲያን በሙሉ ንስሐ ገብተን አቤቱ በቤትህ እንድንኖር ስጋህን ደምህን ተቀብለን እንደ ቅዱስ ፈቃድ እንድንመላለስ ቅዱስ ፈቃድ እንዲሆን እንድንማጸንሃለን። ለዚህም የእናታችን የእመቤታችን የወላዲት አምላክ የቅድስት ድንግል ማርያም አማላጅነቷ የቅዱሳን መላእክቶች የጻድቃን የሰማዕታት ተራዳኢነታቸው ከኛ ጋር ሆኖ በሰላም እንዳሳደርከን በሰላም እንዳዋልከን ተረፈ መዓልቱን በሰላም አስፈጽመህ በሰላም አሳድረህ ለነገ ለምስጋና የበቃ ልጆች ታረገን ዘንድ ቅዱስም እንዲያለ እናመሰግንሃለን። አባታችን ሆይ በሰማያት የምትኖር ስምህ ይቀደስ፣ መንግስትህ ትምጣ፣ ፈቃድህ በሰማይ እንደሆነች እንዲሁም በምድር ትሁን። የዕለት እንጀራችንን ስጠን ዛሬ፣ በደላችንን ይቅር በለን እኛም የበደሉንን ይቅር እንደምንል፣ አቤቱ ወደ ፈተና አታግባን ከክፉ ሁሉ አድነን እንጂ መንግስት ያንተ ናትና ኃይል ክብር ምስጋና ለዘላለሙ አሜን። እመቤታችን ቅድስት ድንግል ማርያም በመልአኩ በቅዱስ ገብርኤል ሰላምታ ሰላም እንልሻለን። በሐሳብሽ ድንግል ነሽ፣ በስጋሽም ድንግል ነሽ። የአሸናፊ እግዚአብሔር እናት ሆይ ሰላምታ ላንቺ ይገባሻል። ከሴቶች ሁሉ ተለይተሽ አንቺ የተባረክሽ ነሽ፣ የማኅፀንሽ ፍሬ የተባረከ ነው። ጸጋን የተመላሽ ሆይ ደስ ይበልሽ፣ ልዑል እግዚአብሔር ካንቺ ጋር ነውና ከተወደደው ልጅሽ ከጌታችን ከመድኃኒታችን ከኢየሱስ ክርስቶስ ዘንድ ይቅርታና ምህረትን ለምኝልን ኃጢአታችንን ያሰርይልን ዘንድ ለዘላለሙ አሜን። ምስጋና ይሁን አንድ አምላክ ለሚሆን ለአብ ለወልድ ለመንፈስ ቅዱስ ዛሬም ዘወትርም ለዘላለሙ አሜን። በሰላም ያሳድረን። ሰላም ደሩ።
አሜን አሜን
አሜን። Thank you.
በሉ ደህና ሁኑ። እንግዲህ ሰላም ያገናኘን።
Thank you.